Hello students, today we'll take history part 1 chapter 2 from trade to territory. In this chapter we'll take the following concepts: introduction, East India Company rule in India 1, East India Company rule in India 2, company and administration, recapitulation. Introduction: Portuguese adventurer Vasco da Gama discovered the direct sea route to India, which led to the prolific trading opportunities for Europeans with India. Ambitions of European nations grew to establish trade links with India, which led to bloody conflicts among European trading companies. Further, we'll study the rise of East India Company from trading companies to the master of Bengal. Under this topic, East India Company rule in India 1, we'll study the following points: Mughals and the trading companies, expansion of trade, friction with Nawabs of Bengal, British Nabobs. First point, we'll discuss Mughals and the trading companies. From Babur to Aurangzeb, all were strong rulers and powerful states. They were called Greater Mughals. Trading companies kept under check by Greater Mughals. We'll discuss how the East India Company won concession from Mughals to trade in India. The Farman, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb issued a Farman granting a duty-free trade in Bengal. Free trade caused heavy revenue losses to Bengal. The next topic is expansion of trade. The companies were interested in buying the same things: fine quality of cotton, silk, pepper, cloves, cardamom and cinnamon were produced in India. Competition pushed up the prices and reduced the profits. Now we'll further discuss how competition between companies led to fortification. As a result of fortification, trade was carried on with arms. Fortification of trading posts done for protection led to intense conflict with local rulers. Company found it difficult to separate trade from politics. Now the next topic is friction with Nawabs of Bengal. In 1696, English East India Company built a fort around its settlements. Companies bribed Mughal officials to win zamindari rights over 3 villages. Now we'll discuss duty-free trade. Company pressed for more concessions. Nawabs refused to grant the company any concessions. Aurangzeb's Farman had granted only the company the right to trade duty-free. This caused an enormous loss of revenue to the Nawabs of Bengal. This led to the conflicts between the company and the Nawabs. Now we'll discuss Nawabs of Bengal. Murshid Quli Khan, followed by Ali Vardi Khan, followed by Siraj-ud-Dawla. Each one of them was a strong ruler. Now we'll look into various factors that leads to the conflict between the company and the Nawab. We'll discuss conflict between the company and the Nawab, unjust demands of the local official ruined the trade of company. The company wanted duties to be removed for the expansion of trade. They wanted to enlarge settlements. The company wanted to buy up villages and to rebuild its forts. The company feared the last Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaula. They wanted to place a puppet Nawab in his place so that puppet Nawab would have given them the trade concession. Now we'll look into the various events that brought Sirajuddaula to an end. Now we'll discuss Battle of Plassey. The British factory at Qasim Bazar attacked and captured by Sirajuddaula. He locked the warehouse, disarmed all Englishmen and blockaded English ships. Now we'll discuss company fights back. As a result, the company sent forces under the command of Robert Clive. Reinforced by naval fleet, Clive bribed Mir Zafar, the commander of Sirajuddaula. Zafar's army did not fight alongside the Nawab, and the Nawab lost the battle. Now the next point we are going to discuss is Battle of Plassey. First major victory of the company in India. Nawab Sirajuddaula was assassinated. Mir Zafar made the Nawab of Bengal. Company was unwillingly to take over the responsibility of administration. The prime objective was expansion of company's trade in India. The next point which we are going to discuss is British Nawabs. The company appointed as Diwan of Bengal. Diwani rights were conferred to the company of Mughal Emperor in 1765. Now we are going to discuss British as Nawabs. How company acquired authority. Company servants began to live like Nawabs. The Nawabs forced to give land and vast sum of money as personal gifts to company officials. British officials returned to England with wealth and were called Nawabs. That's all for today. Today we have completed part 1, History, chapter 2.